This is NDTV and you are watching NDTV Prime.
Please stand by.
An invitation to death in just 50 steps. Yes, that's the world we live in, where we've moved from social media being the greatest communication tool ever to be introduced to mankind to one that can actually invite you to death and make you feel that you're doing something fantastic. We're talking about the Blue Whale Challenge. Lots of other things to talk about today, but this is a no-holds-barred look into what has become the most deadly, the most horrific of things that the world of online usage has ever experienced. Just so that everybody is very familiar with the real truth and facts behind it, here's a very quick look at what we know about the Blue Whale Challenge.
The blue whale is swimming across rough oceans and only causing harm in the process. The challenge is a deadly game where the participant is given a set of 50 tasks to complete in 50 days. It includes inflicting self-injury, killing off someone's pet animal, and eventually, the last task, taking your own life. The curator targets vulnerable youngsters who ultimately are forced to commit suicide. We spoke to Dr. Jitendra Nagpal to find out how to keep a check on children's activity without invading their privacy.
More than 10 to 15% of the people, especially the young people, are suffering from depression. That means they are leading isolated lives. They are leading lives of desolation. They are not connecting with the real-time people. They're connecting with the virtual media. They're connecting with the internet. They're connecting with the internet games, computers, online, mobile. Well, it's fine, we are developing, we are growing, but the flip side is we are losing the youth. We are disconnecting with the youth, we are detaching the youth from itself. If a child is moving out from himself as early as 9 years, 10 years, I think the country holds responsibility, governance holds responsibility, family holds utmost responsibility. We don't blame the children, but we need to guide them, to counsel them, to be with them, to walk with them, to share and care for them.
So now that you know that that's the reality of it, I'm going to just go straight into this. Remember, this is Unboxed, the Town Hall edition. We're doing a special on Blue Whale. We've got a live audience here. We've got our expert panel here, and I'm starting straight away. We're trying to find out, because the amount of misinformation around the Blue Whale Challenge is incredible. In fact, may well be the one thing on earth that almost nobody can for sure know what is the reality. Let's try and find out from our experts what they think. So from each of you, the first question is, what is your understanding of Blue Whale, and what exactly do you think is happening as of right now with it?
I think right now everybody knows it's a concept-based game. There are 50 challenges. You have to fulfill them one by one, and there's a curator who runs it. And once you start playing the game, you have to take a photograph or a selfie for every challenge you accomplish, and then send it to the curator so that he knows that you are still in the game. And after 10-15 simple challenges, there are challenges where you have to hurt yourself, like cut your wrists, write certain things, sit on the roof with the legs dangling, or climb a bridge or a crane. I mean, ultimately the idea is to condition your mind that you ultimately commit suicide. And there is a lot of misinformation going around about this game, especially in the government circle and bureaucratic circles. The government wants to ban the game. There are people, especially in the administration and bureaucracy, who are saying that, why is government not acting enough? Why are they not banning? But we all have to understand that it's not a single person or a single website which is running this game. It's not an app. It's not a simple game that you can just simply go and ban it. It's a concept like 50 challenges, like Truth and Dare game we all play. So anybody who wants to run the game can become a curator and can run it on a secret chat forum or a gaming website or a social media network, or can form a WhatsApp group and run it. So it's so decentralized, it's so scattered that it's technically not possible to enforce any kind of ban on this game and just do away with this.
What's your opinion? Blue Whale, according to you, and where are we right now?
My opinion is that blocking certain pages or URLs does not really fulfill any kind of goal. As you all know, if a link or a page is blocked, that same information can come up on any other link or page in a matter of seconds. There are also dangers of blocking. Blocking can lead to overblocking. If you according to research we've done at the Center for Communication Governance, we know that blocking is not the best form of content regulation. it could censor legitimate helpful information on suicide prevention.
So again, coming down to the fact that a lot of people were relieved when they started hearing these headlines. And by the way, I will also come and talk to all three of you about the fact that there is this certain sect of people and media and even the government that seems to really enjoy saying blue whale doesn't exist, because it's a nice, easy way to dismiss it and put it under the carpet, saying, you know, this is just our typical kind of style of exaggerating everything and making it feel like, you know, the government's responsible for what doesn't even exist. So if you can't ban it because it's decentralized, like he says, if you can't block it because it can lead to over-blocking, what can anybody do?
I think following from what Jiten said, we need higher awareness, and there needs to be a lot of digital literacy and also measures to stop cyberbullying, because this is a form of cyberbullying.
But isn't that the cop-out? Isn't that the, listen, it's the same as what doctors say when you have an autoimmune disease. We don't know what you have, we don't know what to do with it, but listen, why don't you go home and de-stress? Isn't it the same? I mean, what does that even mean, that, you know, you've got to talk a lot more? Is one game suddenly going to make us more aware that we have to be better people around? Isn't the nature of the human not like that anyway? If it was, the blue whale challenge would exist. So isn't that a cop-out? Isn't that the way out, saying, I don't know what to do, let's try to do this?
So I think the problem comes from the fact that the government assumes that the internet is a place that you can regulate easily, because if it's not a cop-out, the only other solution would be to do what the government is doing, which we know doesn't work. Blocking orders have been rampant in India for the last couple of years, and they don't actually achieve what they're supposed to achieve.
They don't work at all, because, you're right, something else will spawn out within seconds. In fact, sometimes even before the ban, you've got the alternatives already in place. All right, so you're actually closely working with those that are most affected. And may I just start by saying that one of the studies says that the reason why it's very attractive to teenagers, and also they are the biggest victims, is because their sense of vulnerability is always at its highest. At that age, they say, everything that happens in their life becomes a matter of life and death. A group of peer pressure where you're thrown out of a group, that's life and death. A breakup between two good friends, that happens. Didn't do very well in studies, that happens. I mean, anything and everything is very exaggerated in the mind at that age. Doesn't that make it the biggest problem? And what about the other thought that sit down and let's talk? Does that work?
As you rightly said, that vulnerability, age appropriate, was always there. So when we talk about teenage, we know that they are curious, they anyway want to do challenging things which really help them feel good about themselves. And we also have another way of learning where we see that even the younger ones are now trying to follow, because they always have been following didis and bhaiyas, and whatever they are doing, we also want to do. So curiosity is anyway part of the childhood or teenage challenging behavior. So that is one. Secondly, another day when we were talking, this age is anyways vulnerable. When we look at the WHO studies, we have 1 out of 4 or 5 children who are showing depressive symptoms. So when they don't have any support or anybody whom they can go to, talk to, nobody is coming to them and talking about why all this is happening, they're anyways left vulnerable. So I will say that this is a big symptom, like a flu which has suddenly come up and everybody is trying to now work around it, whereas the malaise was always there. The insecurity was creeping in slowly. We were not leaving our kids without phone wherever they go, and the WHO was shouting and giving us the studies and result of the research. But now definitely a point where everybody wants to talk about mental health of teenagers or kids per se.
Let's take a show of hands. How many people are familiar with a television series called 13 Reasons Why? Okay, everybody. So, familiar? Yeah, okay. So that also glorifies the afterlife. It actually makes it cool that, look, I've killed myself, and look how I'm going to make all of you suffer, because I have an after voice even after I'm dead.
And see, I'm brave. I'm brave. See, I have it in my phone,
it
I'm doing it.
Suicide, right?
I'm doing it, and nothing is going to happen to me. So I'll take the challenge and I'll do all the things, and I'll ignore what other person is saying. So just see, I'll bypass all the levels and nothing happens. It's just a hoax.
I know that there are ways to search it. There are different codes. None of the codes actually have blue whale in it, right? F57 and all of these multiple ways that you have to know what to look for. You never know whether you get a fake curator or a real one, and that doesn't really matter because there is no such thing as a fake curator. Anybody can lead you to these, right?
It may be a bot.
Yeah, or even a bot. Okay, even worse. But tell us, how do people get hunted down?
Yeah.
How do curators look for people?
Yeah.
How do people look for curators? And why do people not stop at some point? How do you carry on?
If you look at the blue whale game itself, almost every challenge makes you wake up at 4:20. And that's the time your parents are sleeping, or maybe you're chatting. You have to be awake at 4:20. You can't put an alarm and wake up because you have to be doing something. Second, then you have to do certain things like cut your hand, and there are challenges like go and tell your best friends that I hate you. So, there are only couple of ways, 3 ways you can figure out if a child is playing a blue whale game or is getting cyberbullied or he's, being trapped into it. One is that, your parents keep some sort of eye on you, or your teachers come to know and you counsel the child. Another idea is to have the technical surveillance. I mean, a lot of parents wants to now put, mobile monitoring apps or parent monitoring app on the children's mobile phone. And then there is a debate of, ethical idea of whole privacy of a child which comes in, and then they want to monitor the activity of a child. And because you have to take selfies of everything you do, that technological solution might help. But you have to understand, these same curators also tell children the ways to escape technological monitoring. So that may not help. Now the third is behavioral changes. Who can detect? Not parents, not teachers, but certainly can friends, because most of the challenges involve friends. That you feel like playing this game because you feel that you are left out, you have inferiority complex, and you think that you don't belong, you don't have any friend circle, though you may have 5,000 friends on Facebook. So you want to play this game to get some sort of validation and appreciation from unknown people, whether they are friends or not. But the challenge itself, because it is being played virtually, most of the challenges have to be accomplished physically, and then they have involvement of your friend circle in some way, like going and telling your friends I hate you, or cutting your wrist and showing it to 2 people and then posting selfies. So you may be able to detect certain behavioral changes and symptoms of this game. That is why I said that you may be a good helping hand in this entire thing. Now third reason, most importantly, that how we can why people want to play this game and how these curators find these children. You see, a lot of people, we have seen that people tell their parents, everybody is on Facebook in my class, allow me to be on Facebook. My friend has gone on a holiday in Singapore, please take me to Singapore. Oh, my best friend's mother gifted me my Xbox or a PlayStation, please get me one. There's so much of boasting around, check-ins going on Instagram, that you don't even realize that so much of personal information about your personal life you are posting on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, which will stay with you forever in your life. If you do certain things like, posting a status, how many of you have posted a sad status ever in Facebook? I am feeling sad or lonely. Or, today I miss someone else. Or today, I feel that, I should have gone there. Posting something which reflects your personal condition in life. That is where these people realize whether you are sad or happy. And if you keep posting messages like, I'm so happy, I'm on the top of the world, they will not target you. But if you post something like, today I'm missing my family, I wish my friends would have been around, certain things which give them a sign of loneliness, they will target you. And then it's very easy these days to figure out your mobile number and email IDs. Everywhere you keep signing on random games, random forums, free tickets, playing games, and one database is leaked where your age and email contact coordinates are gone, these people will hunt for you. And once you have the email ID or mobile number of a guy, it's very easy to find out your social media presence. You give me your mobile number, email ID, I can find out your Facebook profile. And then this trap starts. So first thing what I say is that
threats are
limit your presence on Facebook. Do not
we'll harm your family if you stop. We know
Don't post personal pictures. Do not post especially check-ins. I mean, if you want to do it 2 days later. Do not give your real life information. I mean, whatever you don't want a stranger to know, please don't post on Facebook. Remember, it's not only your family and friends. There is a whole lot of strange world which is watching you on Facebook. So you have to be careful yourself. It's your life at the end of the day. The very people who are influential people who can do this awareness campaigns and all, they do not even understand what blue whale game is all about, how it works. I mean, look at the ministers and bureaucrats. Ban the game, ban the sites, why have not done enough? They don't even know that it's a concept.
But that's just a headline seeking way of doing
the people
things.
who can help out are not aware. There is an absence of technological understanding. of how internet is evolving, how this internet.
So let's do this. Let's make this show, the one that we're doing right now, compulsory. Every politician from the age of 12 onwards. I don't know.
So politics at 12.
I mean, there are school politics nowadays. So from the age of 12 to 95, anybody who thinks he's a politician, let's make this show compulsory. Let's get that knowledge out there.
Maybe NDTV can send an awareness video to every school free of cost to bring awareness.
I think maybe this is something that we can do. I'm going to come to you because I think a lot of them will also have questions for you, right? And to the rest of the panel. So let's get started with questions. But before that, we'll take a quick break. Obviously, I know you're not going anywhere. This is a very important subject we're talking about.